This video is brought to you by Hi, Immortan here. My YouTube watch hours have gone up exponentially over the last few years, especially as my ADHD has gotten worse. Most of the time, my default fidget is just scrolling YouTube. I keep watching, even when I'm fully caught up on my favorite creators, moving from video to video that's progressively less interesting. Today was one of those days. Nothing looked good. So instead of scrolling, I try to figure out how I actually feel about the time I spend on YouTube. And weirdly, the emotion I landed on wasn't boredom, it wasn't anger either, it was annoyance. Which surprised me, because I've seen some of the best content ever made on this platform. Then why is my main takeaway from all of it low-grade irritation? Let me show you what I mean. I've watched Wisecrack for years. Last year, they launched Wisecrack 2. I was genuinely excited, so I clicked on the first video. Let's count how many times he detracts from the topic.
Before we get cooking, I do want to say, welcome to Wisecrack 2. My name is Michael. I'm glad you're here. Now, if you are a regular viewer of Wisecrack, thank you so much for joining us over here. This is your first time seeing one of our videos. It's so good to meet you.
Now, this is our new channel where we're going to focus on analyzing films, TV, and games, trying to see how they can help us understand the world better and still using all the tools of philosophy that you all know and love. Now, if you've never seen our main channel, Wisecrack, please check it out. We release weekly videos, use philosophy and critical theory to make sense of all types of cultural, social, and political trends. Now, a lot more to say here, but real quick, if this is your first time here, please do subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you know when new videos are coming out, like it, leave comments, all that sort of stuff. And if you love movies, thinking about them and talking about them, please check out our movie podcast, Show Me the Meaning. It streams right here every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific. The podcast is available later in the week. If you like this, you'll definitely like that. You know, unlike the born evil rich guys from other films, feels like for these dudes, their souls have just been slowly eroded by the system. You guys ever get burnt out or? But hey, enough talking about rich dudes. Let's look at how these films talk about actual working class characters. Okay, before we do though, I need some fuel, which is a delicious sip of coffee from Wisecrack's official coffee partner, Yes Please Coffee. They are a small roaster based right here in Los Angeles. They're run by 4 individuals. They're fully independent, and they just make really, really delicious coffee. If you order some of their beans with the code Wisecrack, there's a link in the description, you get 20% off your first order. So, you know, if you want to have the sort of high-end taste for culinary delights we see in the movie without being a psychopath, maybe just treat yourself to some really delicious coffee at an affordable price. Again, that's Yes Please Coffee. Get 20% off the code Wisecrack. Now let's get back to it.
In the very first video of a new channel, aren't you supposed to show me what this channel is, instead of pushing me toward 3 different things I could click buy or subscribe to? What really got to me was the irony. A video about rich people monetizing anti-capitalism, made by a rich guy using my anti-capitalist instincts to promote his brand and several other products, that was an instant unsubscribe for me. Then yesterday, I saw Lemonade Stand's 2026 predictions. First, an Adobe ad.
So you could learn more about editing your PDFs with Adobe Acrobat Studio at adobe.com/do-that-with-Acrobat.
Incredibly useful.
Then a TurboTax ad. I've lived in USA for about a year, and even I know that there are free ways to file taxes. It's slightly more complicated for me since I'm not a citizen, but even the site that I use charges only a fraction of that. That dissonance, that gap between what a creator says they believe versus what they're trying to sell, is what messes with my head as an audience member. If you've never felt that, this video probably isn't for you. But if you have, I want to talk about it. Specifically, about the financial relationship between YouTubers and their audiences, and why it's starting to feel increasingly uncomfortable to be on the audience side of it. Disclaimer: everything I'm about to say is based on my viewing habits and my experience with the YouTube that I watch. I would compel you to analyze the YouTubers you watch, as yours might be very different from mine, and I would love to hear about it. I'm in that phase in life, kind of like college again, wherein I'm alone for most of the day. And if you watch as much YouTube as I do, something kind of unavoidable happens. You start hearing certain YouTubers' voices more than the people around you in real life. That creates a parasocial aspect to it, whether we like it or not. Things like bro fists at the end of PewDiePie videos or calling Atrioc glizzy until he gets annoyed are so much fun. It makes you feel like you're a part of the community and closer to the creator. There's this unspoken agreement baked into that relationship. I keep watching your videos because I like your content. You keep making videos because at this point you focus on it full time and this is how you've chosen to earn your living. That part is fair and ethical, but then come the ads and other forms of monetization. And suddenly we enter a gray area. Every time I interact with a YouTuber who feels like a friend, they're trying to sell me something. And that's the annoyance I want to talk about. And what better way to present it than a tier list? Even my therapist agrees. Before we start though, let me tell you a bit about the sponsor of today's video. Have you ever wanted to learn a skill but never had the motivation to actually go learn it? I know just the right scam to help you. Okay, so the ground rules. The tier list is based on intrusiveness, specifically how much an ad disrupts the viewing experience and the trust between creator and audience. Tier S means zero intrusion and Tier F means foobar. Originally, I planned to rank entire channels, but the more I watched, the more I realized that no channel lives in one tier forever. These tiers are liminal states. Creators move in and out of them over time. So when I mention a creator or a video here, it's not a condemnation of their entire body or work. In fact, if I mention someone at all, it means they've kept me entertained for months or even years. That's a compliment and a recommendation. The content is amazing. Their attempts at selling me things though, that's what I'm hyperfixating on. I wouldn't be doing this for Mr. Beast or Logan Paul or any other degenerates that I don't watch. The channels I usually watch are in the description if anybody is curious, and we can jump right in. Tier S. This is the best possible viewing experience. No ads, nothing breaks the flow, and the creator has full control over what they're trying to say. If there is monetization, it's optional and unobtrusive, like Patreon links or merch that actually makes sense for that channel, or like adding links in the description. You can honestly do whatever you want in the description. Trust your audience enough that the people who are interested will find it. And if they don't, they probably just aren't interested in that product. You most likely aren't the first person shilling that on YouTube. My favorite examples of YouTube merch include JREG's centrist ball and Atrioc's Enron hat. They are relevant, funny, and completely ignorable if you don't care. Most channels' best videos fall in this tier. There is no sponsor for this tier because I get the concept of meta-irony. Tier A. Here, monetization exists, but the content remains intact. Things like Patreon early access and ads at the very end of the video. They are easy to skip, easy to ignore, and they don't interrupt the actual point of the video. Most videos from Better Watch TV, All Shift X, Ordinary Things, and Coffeezilla fall here. You're telling me something after you already delivered what I came for. That feels fair. There are some outliers that can still be annoying, like one of JREG's recent videos. Let's watch it. He made a video about how things are getting better, and for 3 minutes and 37 seconds, he talks about how the world is actually getting better. But then he goes psych, it's actually getting bad for the next 45 seconds. Usually his videos end here. And then there was an ad for the next 1 minute 21 seconds. What the hell, dude? Why did the ad have to be like 23% of your video? That is still tier A because I can opt out. But it feels like you just made a video out of nothing just to try to sell me something. Speaking of selling you something, this tier was brought to you by everyone's favorite VPN. You know how you spend so much money on different streaming services, but big corporations keep messing with streaming rights, which inevitably always leads to your favorite show not being on Netflix. Now, you can spend your hard-earned money on yet another service, which lets you bypass that restriction, and it is completely legal to promote it. Huh. Where was I? Tier B. This is where my blood starts to boil a little. Promotion for Patreon exclusives. Things like extended cuts, watch the real video on Patreon because YouTube would age restrict this. No matter the justification, that's still an ad for non-YouTube content. Then there are ads at the very beginning of the video, before the intro, before I even know why I should care. Before I hear HBomberguy critique corporate hypocrisy, I need to know about his partnership with Curiosity Stream.
This video is sponsored by Curiosity.
Same thing with unpredictable.
Before we dive into the video, we want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor Raycon and a product we genuinely love using while researching and editing these stories, Raycon's bone conduction headphones. These headphones have been a serious game changer for multitasking, especially when we're deep into case files but still need to stay aware of what's...
Screen junkies will sometimes put ads for their other content right before honest trailers. You guys have been trying to do that for years. Please give up. Hell, they are doing entire videos as ads now. CinemaSins starts his videos complaining about how annoyingly long the opening sequences to movies are.
28 seconds of logos!
But to get there, sometimes you have to sit through minute-long ads for the same exact thing he's been promoting for years. I'm all for raising awareness about mental health, but this doesn't exactly feel like that. Plus, I've never heard of anyone shilling that product talked about the downsides of it or the controversy surrounding BetterHelp. Oversimplified starts by trying to sell me merch about characters that I don't even know yet. More on him later.
Foreshadowing is a literary device in which...
Lower in this tier are mid-roll ads that completely break the flow. Clever segues don't really help. They are still interruptions, just dressed up creatively. You have my attention and then you try to sell me something right in the middle of it. Pointless Hub and Alternate History Hub often do a bit to introduce ads. There's still creativity there, sure, but it's still disruptive. Most bodycam content also lives here. Morgan and Morgan every time. This tier is overcrowded and that's kind of its own problem. Anywho, this tier was brought to you by a scummy game designed to get like 5 of you hooked so that they can squeeze you for every last dollar. Tier C. This is where the monetization starts clashing with the message. With multiple things happening at once, like paid ads, self-plugs, and attempts to push you to other platforms. Think the Wisecrack 2 and Lemonade Stand videos I mentioned earlier. I have been watching VFX artist reacts for years. They have an ad segment since a long time, and they are very nice about it with a countdown and everything. But then they also try to push you to their website for extended cuts. This is also where repetitive ads live. No, Paper Skies, I do not want to check out your Nebula no matter how many times you ask me to. If I watch every single one of your videos, then sitting through the same pitch every time feels awful. Take notes, Legal Eagle and Warfronts.
To avoid being left out. And if you want to avoid being left out in the geopolitical cold, have we got an offer for you? And yes, that was a completely seamless transition in today's ad read. Smooth and shameless. Smooth like my head. Frontstocko is on.
This tier was brought to you by Pocket Money. Do you also have trouble taking care of your finances and spending? We made a product that can capitalize on that very thing. Tier D. At a certain point, blaming YouTubers stops making sense. Once ads are baked into the platform itself, intent doesn't matter. Even the most respectful creator can't protect you from what YouTube does to your attention. This entire tier is for YouTube. If this list were brutally honest, here's where it would start. YouTube isn't just hosting videos anymore. It's actively optimizing how often and how aggressively it can interrupt you. And the bigger the screen, the worse it gets. My parents watch old Bollywood movies on YouTube, on the TV. These are like 3-hour-long movies, and sometimes YouTube runs ads like every 15 minutes. Not skippable, not contextual, just injected. That's not monetization, that's attrition. I saw this firsthand when I was hanging out with someone I met at the local, let's just say, recreational dispensary. We were watching YouTube and I wanted to show her Hood Olympics, a 20-minute video. Before it even started, we had to sit through 3 separate 1-minute long unskippable ads. No skip button, no control, just wait. As someone who loves social media, I hate how invasive this is becoming. And there are many creators who are just stuck in this system. The platform decides when you're interrupted, how often, and for how long. This is the background radiation of YouTube now. You can't opt out. You can't negotiate, you can only endure it. No wonder kids yearn for the mines. This tier was brought to you by JREG Data Removal Service. Tired of big companies stealing your data to make money? Now you can spend your hard-earned money to pay yet another company to protect your data online. They pinky promise to not abuse it themselves. Don't come to me when Incogni is on the verge of bankruptcy and start selling personal data like the DNA companies. Tier F. I didn't think we could go much lower than that, but here we are at the bottom of the barrel. Tier F isn't about annoyance. It isn't even about intrusion. This is where monetization causes real harm. Everything before this tier still operates under an assumption that we are all playing the same game. The creators are trying to make a living, platforms are being shitty, and the audiences are just stuck in the middle. Tier F is where that assumption breaks, because what's being sold isn't just irrelevant or repetitive, it's dishonest, predatory, or actively harmful. Crypto grifts, scammy financial products, shady sponsors that rely on misinformation, desperation, or obscurity to function. Basically, every creator Coffeezilla or HBomberguy has ever exposed lives here. And yes, honey. With the newer revelations from Megalag, it's clear that Honey wasn't just a bad deal or a harmless browser extension. It was built on deception, and anyone who shilled it and still has those videos up needs to seriously reckon with that. If Markiplier saw it coming, what was your excuse? You must think every creator must have removed Honey sponsored videos by now. Well...
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. New merch available now. They probably didn't come cheap. It's gonna cost you a lot more than this. I don't think so. I've got a promo code. And speaking of promo codes, do you like free money? I know I do. I really like it. And that's why I use Honey. Honey is a free browser extension that automatically finds the best promo codes whenever you shop online. For free. This means you... There is absolutely no reason not to use Honey for everything you buy online. It's free and literally takes 2 clicks to install. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/oversimplified. That's joinhoney.com/oversimplified. And as always, by using my links, you'll be supporting my channel. So thank you.
This is the part people like to dodge by saying, well, they didn't know, and maybe that was true at first, but leaving those videos up even after the truth is out? Now that's definitely a choice. At this point, you're not just monetizing attention, you're laundering trust. Parasocial relationships work on a fragile illusion that even though this isn't a real friendship, there's still the baseline of good faith. That you wouldn't knowingly sell me something harmful while looking me in the eye and calling me chat or bro or guys. Once that illusion breaks, it doesn't come back. You don't get to shrug this off as just business. You don't get to hide behind ignorance forever. And you definitely don't get to keep money and the moral high ground. At this point, the parasocial contract isn't just strained, it's severed. Shit, maybe I should be shilling for meme coins at this point. Crime is legal after all. What's the point of anything if a content creator can't stop with the content I like? I'm going to lose my shit over this stupid Okay, despite what that might have come off as, I don't think content creators are evil for wanting to make money. I don't even think ads are inherently bad. What frustrates me is when monetization warps the relationship, when my attention becomes a resource to be mined instead of respected. I love supporting creators. Hell, I even have more money now. But I just don't want to feel like every interaction comes with a sales pitch attached. Why pretend this is a community? Why pretend this is art if it's all about money in the end? If you felt this too, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Shubhratri, Shabbak Khair, and please take very good care of yourselves and your loved ones. If you liked this video, there is a full 69-hour long rant on it on my Patreon, which definitely exists. Okay, it exists now. That rant doesn't though.